You are one click away from destroying yourself. It doesn't matter if it's swiping on your FYP. It doesn't matter if it's a motivational video. It doesn't matter what you click. Clicking at all is destruction. I mean, think about it. How much time does everyone you know spend staring at a screen? It's unsettling to think about the insidious creep of social media into our lives and schedules. But when en masse, I think that social media addiction is just a distraction from what it means to face all the challenges of being a human being. Who wants to be a human being anyway? Who wants to be subject to a random chance of a loved one dying, unexpected tragedy, economic uncertainty, isolation, and then eventually death? While everything I mentioned might not be a part of your daily life as a human, they'll all visit you and everyone you know sooner or later. So instead of viewing social media addiction just as dopamine addiction, I'd say that social media addiction is the sane man's reaction to his thoughts about his life. Given that we're in a society that no longer takes religion or the afterlife all too seriously, what can you do when faced with these realities? Well, the answer that most young men choose is self-improvement. I mean, if we're all just atoms in the void, why not heroically accept the circumstances of life and dominate the world and everybody around you? That's the beauty of the choice presented by the red pill. Get girls, get sex, get money, get status, relish in all of it without reservation. Because I mean, we'll all die someday, and all of this will be forgotten. But herein lies a slight problem with all of this from my view. Did that solve any of the problems that the sane man avoided by using social media? Isn't all this almost the same as social media addiction? Did the heroic red pillar address his inevitable death and demise? I don't think so. I think he found a way to delude himself into forgetting that he would die. But I don't think the red pillar solved the problem more than he just avoided it. But how can we look towards our death and pretend that there's anything even remotely comforting or valuable in such a nauseating thought? Memento mori. It's a phrase for a reason, and that reason is that by looking towards our death, we can get a more accurate perspective of our lives. I mean, if we could really and truly understand the weight of not existing, who'd spend a minute getting mad on Twitter, arguing with a family member, or feeling ashamed about the things they can't change? I think not a single person would do any of those if they knew the consequences and the weight of death. But death takes away consciousness. It takes away free will, our ability to experience love, the world, hope, and the future. Well, if we're going to lose our ability to experience all of these, is it not best that we affirm everything offered to us in life? But yet again, there's another problem with this. This could quickly just slip back into not doing anything with the gift of life, because there's just so much that we can do with what is offered to us. This is overwhelming. I mean, where would you even start?
I'm sorry, but the person you've called is not available. Please leave your message after the tone. After you've finished.
Well, if we experience free will, consciousness, and a future, I'd assume the universe and our lives have some order to it that goes beyond the physical world, and that ultimately there is some rational principle tying the world together. And if we can find some way to get closer to the rational order guiding the universe, we can completely affirm and exist in line with all those things that death takes away from us. And how amazing is this really? By affirming life, we can look towards death and know that we experienced infinite life, or at least life to maximum, while here. I think Ludwig Wittgenstein once said that he doesn't see the problem that eternal life would solve, and I think I have to agree to him. It's not through eternal life that we find solace. I think it's through the memory of death that we can affirm the uniqueness and beauty of our human life and share this beauty with others. I call this the birth of empathy. In realizing the beauty of our lives, we can acknowledge the beauty of the lives of others. We can see ourselves in others and see their ability to truly experience infinite affirmation of what it means to be human. And we can push them towards affirming the uniqueness of their life. I think it's best to finish where we started. Inevitable tragedies that I wish neither have to be yours or mine will visit us all. If we look towards life and affirm every part of our existence, we can live without the regret of what would have been and the fear of loss, because we affirm the life of ourselves and others as much as we could have expected to do, and there is nothing else that could have been done.